Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop, and you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. As you know, JP Jr. used to be introduced as the sexiest man in bowling, and now the world. But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation. So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. This is episode number 72, and I'm still your host for now. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Joining me, as always, is the co-host of the show. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Johnny, what are you doing over there?
What am I doing entering second?
Yeah, that's weird, right?
I don't care. Hi, guys.
I think our draft order is messed up. Welcome to Sexiest Man in the World. It is the one and only Mr. Johnny Petraglia. I got to do the whole gimmick. He's the man with the name on the marquee. He's number 07 in your hearts, number 1 in your program. Wait, number 1? No, hold on. I already fucked it up. Hey, Ocho.
Wretched. Hello, Dave.
Oh, go to the chat.
What's up, Dave? What's up, Mr. Mikulowski? Good evening.
I don't know what that means. Why does it say yellow?
That's hello, like yellow.
Yellow.
Oh, got it. I thought you were saying that's.
It's a new bowling ball that came out.
I'll just continue drinking my Pedialyte.
The purple yellow hammer. What are you, dehydrated, Mo? You got to.
Oh yeah, it's Wednesday. I bowl on Tuesday. It's my drinking night.
That's just that's the booze cruise.
The plot
reviews.
thickens.
Yeah. Hey, Dave. I'm sorry I didn't respond to your message earlier, which is actually one of the things we're going to discuss today, which I'm not even sure you're aware of. I'm actually going to read Dave Crandall's text message that he sent to me, but to not blow it for the other two guys and everybody else in the show that hasn't already heard about it, I'll read the text aloud. So it's nice to see everybody.
Crandall, how you want to Gordon? He did right. Crandall, how you want to Gordon? He did right.
What's up,
Crandall, how you want to Gordon? He did right. Remember that? Oh,
Ian,
broke my guitar string.
the best detective in bowling is here. The best detective in bowling.
Taryn didn't get either. That's unfortunate. She's always left out. That's
she got something.
What are we talking about? Didn't get what?
To go to the doctor.
I have no idea what we're talking about. What's up, Ian? What's up, Taryn, Travis, Devin, David Crandall, Pete Kyle, Mikulowski, everyone. All the regs are here. Poor Bear messaged me earlier and he's like, "Are you guys on tonight? I don't see a post on Johnny's page." I'm like, well, that's weird. Let me look. And it was gone. It was there earlier, but for some reason it was gone. I'm like, did Johnny delete it? Is he not going to be on the show tonight?
Nope.
There was a big kerfuffle, and I had to do some investigatory work. Easier said than done.
Yes.
But here we are, apparently.
Investigatory. You said
Is that a right word? Investigatory?
It's investigatory.
Investigatory. That's
You're investigating, right, and you're touring at the same time.
That's true.
You're both right. Yeah.
O'Neill team killing it right now. Yes.
Yeah,
Paul O'Neill, baby. Paul
congrats. Get this shit. So that team, I'm not sure they've completed game 2 yet, but game 1 of team event, they shot 12-28. And that was with their leadoff guy bowling 182 and Bill O'Neill in the anchor position bowling 201.
Oh, wow.
3 guys in the middle bowled 267. That was from Kenny Abner. I don't know who shot the 278, and then Charles Easton bowled 300.
Who shot 278?
Those middle 3 guys absolutely whacked them. As a matter of fact, I just got an update on what's going on through game 2 for that team. The team is Ron Pollard Jr.,
Ron Pollard,
Jeff Fair, son of the infamous Steve Fair, Kenny Abner bowling 3rd, Charles Easton 4th, and Bill O'Neill in 5th. So going into the 10th frame right now, Ron Pollard, who bowled 182 his first game, can strike on the fill ball to shoot 182 again.
Consistency.
And then Jeff Fair in the 2-hole can shoot 268 if he strikes out in game 2. Kenny Abner went open spare all of them going into the 10th. He still got 269 to the wall. Charles Easton, the guy who bowled 300, opened with the front 4, 9 spare, and another 4-bagger. He has a chance to shoot 279. And then Bill O'Neill, the legend Bill O'Neill, I guess comparatively speaking, is struggling because he can only shoot for 234 to go along with his 201 from the first game. But astronomical numbers by a really, really stacked.
Is this on the telly right now, or is this you're looking?
No, you can follow along on I believe it's bowl.com or whatever it is. I usually have people send shit to me. I try and go to anything USB-C related as little as possible. So
sensible technique, given what we've been discussing.
But what I wanted to say while we're on the subject of Reno real quick, and honestly, there's not a shit ton going on in the world of bowling right now.
In the world.
First off, my buddy David, who's here in the chat, asked me how I felt about Reno, and there's no secret that I fucking hate Reno.
Happy birthday, Nicole.
Happy birthday, Nicole.
Happy birthday. I'm telling you guys, like, I truly
hate the whole place, or just the bowling alley, like that.
Like the whole city.
Everything.
Does the bowling alley at least give it anything, or like it shouldn't even be there then?
Not to me.
I got you.
There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. It's a beautiful place, but I'm a little spoiled because from the time I was a baby, I've been bowling in the most prestigious bowling alleys. I went from places like Carolier to now living in Vegas, and every single bowling alley out here is a cathedral.
But I thought that was, so Kingpin's full of shit then, and we should do that one day.
We are going to one day.
But so I tell David, I express in one of my Drunken Tuesdays, I say, I just really, really let it go. Like, I fucking hate Reno. And so I got a message from him today that says, "You are so right about Reno. The town is a complete shithole. The power went out today for a little more than an hour all around the city of Reno. We walked into the stadium this morning. There was no power. The lanes suck. Yeah, I mean, I think the lanes always suck at USB-C, but honestly, I just think that I suck. But anyway, they were on the doubles and singles squad with EJ Tackett, who apparently only bowled 537 in doubles, which is shocking, especially after reading those other numbers by that team that we just heard. But it went on to say that EJ is a class act, got his autograph while he was bowling the Bowler's Journal, and he was still bowling terribly there. But bowlers were bowling when the power went out, and they got free entries for next year's doubles and singles. And then from there on, the tournament had to be delayed for, I believe, an hour or so. So the following squads were all kind of knocked down or moved to do an hour later. But that's kind of what's been going on in Reno. Not much is changing. There's still going to be some teams that are whacking them out there, and Reno still sucks. So fortunately, we're not going to blame the USB-C on the power outage as much as I would like to.
Could be their fault.
It could be their fault.
No, it could be awesome if it was, but no. Anyway.
I mean, they fuck with the lane conditions at the Queen, so, I mean, who knows? Maybe they fuck with the power here.
Yeah, it could certainly be.
I'm a survivalist, so I would have had my headlamp, and I would have had maybe a magnesium bar and a ferro rod. I would have got a little fire going just to make sure, everything was good. We could see. I'd be bowling great, but that's me.
That's a given. That's a given.
Oh,
Like Val said, the air conditioner didn't work after that, and it was like a sweat box, which, I mean, to him, that's normal, but,
Oh, wait, really? I didn't
know about that.
Yeah, because think about that too.
He posted it today on his page.
you got a lot of, not a lot, some are kind of out of shape people when they get there, and they already emanate a fair amount of mitochondria heat. So when you combine that, extrapolate that amongst how many lanes are there? 100?
70, I want to say maybe 74.
Started with an S.
That's close.
Samsonite.
Can we get to Jeff Skier's question here real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who wants to read it?
Let's go there. I'll read it.
Okay, you read it, Johnny.
No, go ahead, Rob. You go right ahead.
Fine. I'll read it. Question for you guys. I've been on my soapbox about every time Simo makes a show, how they mention he is Hall of Fame eligible, while his stats are worthy. I'm sick of hearing it. To me, it waters down the Hall. I believe there are others who don't have 10 titles or 2 majors that should be considered. What about guys like Bob Learn, who holds a few titles and the 4-game scoring record after his performance in Erie? Thoughts on mentioning Hall of Fame eligibility on every show?
Before you do that, also let's reiterate the stats or the Hall of Fame. Are these legit Hall of Fame numbers you need? Like, 3,000 hits in baseball are kind of like benchmarks, but there's guys with 2,842 hits that I think got in the Hall of Fame based on their, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it a standard? Whoever has this and this gets in?
Isn't baseball like
there was
ish?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, isn't baseball like ish? Like
it's supposed to be, but it's also.
But I think bowling is pretty strict on their requirements, right, Johnny?
Not necessarily. It used to be that 10 titles basically guaranteed that you were going to get into the Hall of Fame, and I don't ever really recall it being 10 titles and two of them being majors, but. I know that the staple was always if you reached 10, you were basically a shoo-in for the PBA Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And I agree with Jeff here because it's bothering me that it's always like the first thing that they want to discuss. Like, Anthony Simonson is going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's in his mid-20s, and he's got 5 majors. Gives a fuck if he wins 10 titles or if he only wins those 5 majors.
Right.
If Anthony only had
a major dent in PBA legacy already.
Exactly. But like if Anthony went out and he only had 5 titles and they were 5 majors, and then he decided to stop bowling the tour. Here's a great example for you,
Look
Jeff.
at Brooks Koepka from the PGA Tour. Barely wins on regular, but he's got, 4 majors already? 5 majors?
Here's a perfect person to use as an example here. I'm going to give you a bowler that, in my eyes, is 100% a Hall of Famer, but based off eligibility requirements, if they really are truly requirements now that you have to have 10 titles, here's a bowler who decided to leave the tour before he was 40 years old. While he was out on tour, he won 2 major titles, one at Sunset Station and one at South Point. I remember him like it was yesterday. One was the World Championship, and I believe one at the Sunset Station that one year. I don't know if I want to say
Steve Hoskins.
The Masters. No. But he's another prime example. But who I'm talking about is Mike Fagan.
Oh, shit. He don't bowl anymore?
No. Mike Fagan stopped bowling, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. And Fagan probably won 7 or 8 titles, and 2 of them were majors.
And they did a ton of telecasts, too, like to the point that I knew who he was.
Of course. So, in anybody with half a brain's eyes, Mike Fagan is a Hall of Famer. Regardless of the fact that he doesn't have 10 titles, regardless of the fact that he doesn't bowl out there anymore, because if he did, Mike Fagan would now probably have around, let's give him an extra win a year, and he's been gone for 8 years. Now he's got 13 or 14 titles. He's a shoo-in.
Yep, 100%.
But so there's different things, but I do agree with Jeff in the respect that they've dummied down. Like they talk about Hall of Fame left, like, why don't you guys talk about something else? And they just keep shoving it down our throats, and I don't necessarily think it's for any reason other than they don't really know what else to talk about. But
we're not saying it's diminishing, but if it's the only topic of conversation, then what else is there? You know what? And the Hall of Fame is supposed to be such a prestigious thing that it should be a rarity rather than a commonality, I think. Absolutely. Is what maybe we're trying to get at.
No, I agree, because you have like 10 or 15 current players that are probably could be in it in the next year or two. It's I don't want to say that the bar is too low, but I mean,
tons. That's where I was going, Rob. Go ahead.
I mean, you look at baseball, basketball, football, hockey. I mean, fuck, it takes a lot to get in the Hall of Fame, and there's a lot of good players.
It sure does.
There are not in.
Sure does. If you really wanted to go nuts with it,
seriously,
you could say that the eligibility requirements should be 20 or more titles.
Right.
And then the people that are on the fence at that point is people like my dad. My dad has 14 national titles. He's got 4 majors, even though they don't consider the World Open a major anymore, which it actually was never considered a major anyway. My dad's got 3 majors on the regular tour and 14 national titles. That's a Hall of Fame career. Televised 300, served 3.
And there's the other part. Like
he's an ambassador as well,
too. And the only guy to win a tournament in freaking 6 decades. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
7.
got things. Jesus Christ!
What's up,
7 decades. People don't even live that long. Holy shit!
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, like that's where it should be such a unique thing and a rarity, not like. Okay, you guys got 10 titles. Great.
Right.
And how many people are in? Do we know this? Or
good point by Mr. Capagna.
And I think so. I'm totally 100%.
Tony is 100% right.
And I know we get it that people bowl for a while, or at least when they're done with their PBA. You know, if then they get to the senior gimmick, then okay. But look, any other sport, they're retired for 5 years. So when you guys were talking about this, it's funny, when they talk about Ben Roethlisberger and they'd say future Hall of Famer, and there's a reason why. The guy played 18 years for one team. He's got 5th passing yards of all time, something like that.
Former rapist.
10th in touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, so there's clearly, and he's a 2-time winner beyond the stats. So, but it wasn't like that was the only thing they talked about anytime we talked about him too. So there's
Ben should get in, in my opinion.
Of course he's going to. Ben's not going to knock it in. But
Eli Manning shouldn't get in because he had 2 Super Bowl championships.
I don't think you don't think Eli Manning should get in?
No.
Well, it's because he beat your team twice. But
look at his stats. He's mediocre.
That's the problem. I don't even like the stats, and that's the. I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, look at baseball. It's a fucking popularity contest, and that's what kind of Stephanie might be alluding to is bowling a popularity contest because it's.
Yeah, and who votes on it?
Johnny.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
How many people are in, and who votes on it? Or is it just because
I don't know how many? I don't know how many people are in. I believe the players vote. I don't know that, but to answer Steph's question, this is going back to 2008. The requirements for Hall of Fame eligibility are
settle down, Giants fans. Sorry.
According to 2008, win a minimum of 10 PBA Tour titles or win a minimum of 5 PBA Tour titles, including 2 majors. And have been a PBA member for at least 20 years.
But to me, with equipment nowadays, Johnny, no offense, but it's a lot easier to win titles now than it used to be.
Is it easier, or is
no? It's not.
I don't think it's easier.
What makes you say that?
How would it be easier?
Because of the technology that they have now.
Yeah, but the bowlers are also making the ball do this shit too. I can grab a ball that they got and it don't do what they make it do. That's the other thing. With these patterns they're bowling on, I think what it is the talent pool is kind of watered down. Where there's only, I almost feel like there was a lot more people could win 20 years ago than can now, and it's not a knock on people. It's the top guys are the top guys. They've separated themselves via talent or equipment or something. But go ahead.
This is a great thing that we're talking about. Yeah, because this, for instance, I'll give you a prime example. I agree with what Ocho. The talent pool is smaller in this respect. Like if you go back and watch the LPBT before it was the PWBA, there was on average, 70 to 90 entries per event. And you can go turn on any PWB or LPBT telecast from say 1985 to 2000. And you're going to see the same 12 to 15 ladies on virtually every single show. You'll see Leanne Barrett, who's now Leanne Hulsenberg.
Tish Johnson, I think,
Wendy
was
McPherson,
one of them, right?
Tish Johnson, Dee Dee Davidson, Marianne.
How did I know that?
Kelly Kulick. You see the same women on every show because the talent separation from the greatest female bowlers on the planet
the
to
top
the
20
good ones.
were that good,
it's
and
not
the
even
bottom
close.
50 were different. Yeah, they were
Exactly.
great, but they weren't
right.
top talent.
But Liz Johnson is going to be on almost every show. Wendy, the other names we just mentioned. And what always happened on the ladies' tour, it was just simply because there were smaller squads and the talent was so dominant on the top for the ladies. It's happened. Lisa Wagner, there's another good one. There's another one. like throughout the years of the PBA Tour, you would always see guys like Norm Duke and Walter Ray, Parker, Brian Voss, Amleto. All those guys would be on multiple shows a year, but you would also see a ton of other players make TV. You would see guys like Ken McNeely or Billy Myers Jr. or Bob Belmont, or I'm just picking out names of guys that don't make. There you go, exactly.
Nice. Yeah.
And what's happened now is with whatever they're doing with the lane conditioning. And whatever, there is a specific way that bowling works on the PBA Tour right now. And if you have it on the tour, you're never going to finish lower than 20th unless you just step on your own dick. I mean, there's the same guys are at the top every single week. Like, for instance, we had Jacob Buttriff on here a few weeks ago. Jacob Buttriff is a sensational bowler. I don't necessarily believe Jacob Buttriff is 10 times better than Ryan Simonelli or Jesper Svensson or Brandon Runk. But Jacob, between his mental ability, his trick at the bottom, and the fact that his game plays into what he gets to bowl on every week, makes him 10 times better than all those other guys. The same exact thing is happening. It's a little bit trickier when we bring up guys like EJ Simo and Belmo, just simply because they're the best bowlers in the world. But if you take away those guys, there's the other guys that are always knocking on the door, are always kind of the same guys. You see the Chris Prathers, you see the Kyle Troops, you see guys like the same exact. It's that star-studded field has shrunk and is more comparative to the 90s and 2000s of the PWBA. Whereas when you look at there's another one, Sperone, Michelle Feldman. She was on every show. And now the same thing happens on the ladies tour, but on a totally different level. There are so many talented ladies on the tour now that you don't see the same thing. You do see some. You will see Shannon Pluhowski almost every week. You'll see Danielle McEwen. You'll see Verity. You'll see Daria. You'll see Jordan Richard. But there's other women that come out like Corrine Acuff and the other girl that I really liked on the show that was on the Queens last year, Carlene Beyer. There's tons and tons of talent on the ladies tour where a lot of different people can make the show, whereas 30 years ago you knew exactly who was going to be on the show, or at least who was going to be comprising the top 10. It was very, very rare to see a newbie just come out there and cut their shit, and like here we are. And that separation at the top level and on the men's tour is a little bit more comparable to the ladies tour of 25 years ago. So
Rad Ocho with that. Hell yeah, man. Way to set it up for him.
Hang on. Steph says when they did 17-person ladder a while back there was only like one new face. Exactly. Like, for instance, the guy who's made a splash on the PBA Tour, which you just don't see that often, is Kevin McCune. Kevin McCune has slid right into PBA's elite. But other than him, I can't really think of anybody that's knocking on the door with those other guys. Dan Benovitz says, can you put that over here? Because I have a prompt on my computer telling me I have a low-power charger connected, and I can't see it. I think it's also the fact that the bowling alleys are more consistent. You're not going from wood to synthetic along with different types of oil. Also with multiple tournaments in the same place because the same guys to make shows. I do agree with that they've gone away from wood and they're predominantly bowling on either an SPL surface or a pro lane. I will tell you that they do use different oils. They will screw around with either Prodigy, Fire, Ice, depending on how much tread or what the topography maps read at the start of the tournament that they think will deem the most beneficial kind of oil. But you're exactly right. The consistency of the bowling centers and the machine. There is no more inconsistent oiling. I mean, the human error effect has kind of gone away. In other words, you don't have a guy pushing a Phoenix down a lane, or you don't have a guy maybe not lining up exactly what board it's supposed to be on.
Is that good or bad, though, for the sport? I mean, that should be a good thing, right, for consistency's purposes?
Yeah, especially for the tour's best, because every week they go, they know.
Oh, that's true. So now, right.
It's going to work with this ball.
So
and this
they
oil.
always know how to match up, whereas the really good guy then gets that chance where he happens to match up because the Phoenix machine gave him about 2 feet more oil or something,
exactly.
A little more hang. And so here he can run the table a little bit, at least make a show, which, again, you still got to be pretty damn good.
I love you too.
I love you too, man. Thank you. That was nice. It's a comment. You don't have to tell me you love me right on the show.
Yeah. You deserved it.
Thanks, buddy.
You deserved it. Hi, Tammy. And yes, Susie, we love you. Yeah, Liz Johnson and then everybody else. 100% agree with you there, Mr. Ben. Going back to the Hall of Fame, they say you need 20 years on the tour, which I do like that. That kind of leans more to what Tony said about you should be retired. And like, when you think about it, Jason Belmonte came out on tour in 2008. He's been a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame for 10 years, but based off these rules, he can't go into the Hall until 2028. Now, I can assume and promise you he'll be the first name on the ballot in 2028 if they hold true to their 20 years.
What would be wrong with that, though?
But I do also like the fact that I hadn't, and I didn't know, because that kind of also proves the Fagan point. Mike Fagan, now here's the thing. Now, let's say Fagan has his 5 titles and his 2 majors. That's great, but Fagan doesn't have 20 years of service on the tour. So I'm assuming that he won't ever be in the Hall of Fame, which to me...
He's the Don Mattingly, basically, where he was a dominant player for those years, but yet just doesn't have the longevity.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead and finish your point. I'm so excited to say Don Mattingly.
I'm sitting here thinking the same thing, man. Like, it kind of bothers me that Mike Fagan isn't eligible to be a Hall of Famer. How can Mike Fagan
why did he quit, though? Just out of curiosity. I mean, is it not enough money? Is it just...
You really want to know?
Of course I want to know.
To better his life.
Right.
He got his MBA. He's doing very, very well for himself. He's got a nice family.
Let's just think about this, and I'm not cutting you off. Here's a guy that was a champion on tour, 7 titles, you said, and 2 majors? 5 titles?
At least 7 titles.
2 majors, and he's one of the top bowlers. He's one of the top people at his craft. Let's say that.
Yep.
And he said, you know what? I could keep doing this and I guess make $150,000 a year, but let me do this and make more. I don't want to put it on money because that's not what it's about either. And I get that. But if you're still one of the top guys and you're in your craft, Scott Boras is one of the top agents. You know what I mean? Like, I'm probably reaching a little bit, but like, it's a little bit of a knock on bowling for what the product is, because we lost a guy because of their output. It seems like, and it's a shame. And good for him. Good for him, because most people will say, "Hey, I'm bowling. I'll just keep doing this. I'm content." And here's a guy that said, "You know what? I got more to do. I got more to live for. I'm inspired by something else." So I don't know. People take note, but it's a shame for us fans. But it's great on him and shows his mental fortitude.
Absolutely. And everybody in the comments is also talking about Scott Norton. Scott's another one. Steph, I think this is absolutely disgusting.
He's a lefty, right?
Yes. This is disgusting that I don't know this, but I know that Fagan got his MBA. I'm assuming an MBA is a law degree or something like that, or along those lines. So I don't think he just made that up. God, do I sound like an asshole because I don't know what an MBA is?
It's the National Basketball Association, man. What are you talking about? Larry Bird.
I thought Scott Norton was a wrestler from WCW.
That's John Nord, the Barbarian.
No, you remember Scott Norton? Scott Flash Norton?
There was a Scott Flash Norton?
Yeah, you know,
world class.
No,
Flash fucking Gordon.
Not world class, WCW.
But yes, Scott is a lawyer. Scott is a lawyer. Scott is a fantastic bowler, a fantastic person.
They call him ESQs, if you remember right. Remember the old
yeah, Esquire.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was equestrian.
Oh, maybe. Thank you. Masters of Business Administration. And yes, we know Scott is a lawyer, absolutely.
So Scott doesn't bowl at all anymore? You
never see him in any tournaments, but Fungal.
I'm all over the place, too.
Yeah, shut up for a minute. Shut up. You know my brain. I can't handle it. Shit, see, I lost it. It's gone.
Scott Norton and Mike Fagan.
Scott Norton doesn't have Hall of Fame credentials. Scott Norton wasn't on the tour full-time long enough to have Hall of Fame credentials. So he's a little bit different than Fagan in the Hall of Fame discussion. Again, I was going back to, I personally kind of maybe disagree with the 20-year tenure. I don't like that. I think that shuts out a lot of people, and not because of their own faults. It's like Rob was saying, Mike Fagan, and guys, I hate to say it, it is about money to some extent. Mike Fagan is a smart, like responsible person that woke up one day and said, I don't want to beat my head against the wall every fucking week for 18 weeks that I'm out here trying to cash a $50,000 paycheck here and there. I want to go do something, get good at it, and make hand over fist money and take care of my life and my family and live my life the way that I want to. And this tour shit ain't fucking doing it for me. That's what I think. Money is always a driving factor in anything that anybody does. Nobody goes and does something and commits to something if there's not some goal at the end of the rainbow.
That's why people relocate. That's why people take a new position and move their family. So
exactly.
I didn't want to come off as making because we know the tour, the prize fund, and all that. And I don't want to beat the dead horse like they beat the Simo Hall of Fame dead horse. That's all.
No,
but also the risk he's taking is will he make it too? And I guess he's doing it. So that's even ballsier because look how many people go get their degree and then they can't apply it and they're freaking humping garbage in in some landfill somewhere. So it's still ballsy on his part to do that. I assume he had a teensy bit of a nest egg to help, but that's still a risk, man, and good for him. And maybe he said, hey, fuck it. If I want, I'll go back to bowling. I know I could fucking work out for a year on it and be back. So maybe that's having that the frame of mind that, like, if it doesn't work out, I still have this, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I assume you're allowed to go back to bowling, right? If you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. And if Fagan wanted to, when he's got his life set in 10 more years when he turns 50, he can go kick ass on the senior tour.
Yeah.
Kyle says, how much were the top guys making then versus now? Here's the problem, Kyle, and I'll give you some numbers. We witnessed Kyle Troup have the highest single-season earnings season ever, where he made $500,000 a couple of years ago, right? Prior to that, we witnessed Walter Ray Williams Jr. in 2003, I believe it was, make over $400,000, which was the leading single-season earnings record to that time. We saw Patrick Allen the year that he just went on a tear, I believe it was 06, where he made over $300,000 in a single season. Now, I just gave you $500,000 from 2023 as being the highest grossing earnings in a single season from 23. In 2003, the record was $400,000. In 1989, when Mike Albee set the earnings record, he won $298,000. So, if you made $298,000 in 1989, life was good. If you make $298,000 now and break records and shit, it's a chunk of change. It changes your life to a certain extent, but you have to do that every year to stay consistent doing that. Take a look at Dom Barrett or Chris Prather. Chris Prather goes from making $300,000 in a single season to this year
$35,000 or something like that.
$35,000. Like, that's the problem with it, is it's not so much the highest earners, it's how little money is dispersed between the rest of the guys. You can't tell any person. I mean, I want to say this. There are certain things that money doesn't mean it. Like, I love weightlifting. I know I'm never going to make $1 from it because I'm not willing to inject myself with enough of the shit that I need to be on stage. It's as flat as I can make it, right? So I weightlift to make myself feel good, for my own dopamine, for my own, I'm getting older. I want to be someone. I do that more out of love than money. So I do understand that money isn't always the root of all of it in a lot of aspects, but if you have aspirations to go out on the PBA tour, you're going out there to try and make a living out there and do it full time. You can't tell me or any other sane person, I don't care how hard you work, you have to be in the top 10 in money to make more money than a normal 9-to-5 job that you could do from home. It looks glorious at the top, but I guarantee if we had Chris Prather on right now and ask him how he felt going from making $300,000, has a family, and this year he worked his ass off, made it to the top 8 for the final event that they're going to have this year, but he also made 78% less dollars than he did last year.
We also have to hope that being in the spot that they're in has generated other avenues just for sponsors or something, and we're not going that. And I think that's also part of it. But yes, based on the dollar that they make, you're hitting the nail on the head. When you were talking about that, I wrote this down about a month and a half ago, where in 1987, the winner of the U.S. Open got $100,000 in 1987. Second place, 55. Third place, 30. Fourth place, 20. Fifth place, 15. And some events, the winner only gets 20 grand on the regular tour now. So, and I get it was the U.S. Open. It was 1987. We're talking 30-something, what was it, 37? My math serves me correctly. It's about 84 years ago. Someone do that, 2023 to 1987. But it's got to be 30-something-ish.
36.
So that's and inflation certainly has gone up in that. Now, maybe the wage didn't go up that way in the regular job, but also, there aren't guys printing business cards that are in competition to be the best in the world at it either. So that's the frustrating part. And we addressed this so many times. And how do you make it better? I got it. Calendars. We're doing calendars. Adult theme. I got it. Adult theme calendars. I'll do one for the women, and then we'll get some other dudes to do. We'll put pins in strategic places. We get some chicks that want to pose. We got to have men and women's side. I got it. I just saved bowling. I literally just saved bowling right now. Mark this point in the show. 36 minutes in. Ocho saved bowling forever.
No offense to Butters. I don't want to see him on a.
Somebody does. That's the point. I guarantee somebody does.
It's now time for the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Be one of those.
I can't do it. I'm trying to whistle.
Yeah, you're. And
sounds good.
And we're back.
Mr. Petraglia.
Hello.
What happened to you last week that was good? Or this week, or recently, or whenever, since we've last met?
Truth be told, it hasn't been that great of a week.
Well, fuck.
Nah, it hasn't been. I'm done. I'm officially I subbed for my last Tuesday last night. I'm done bowling for the summer. I'm not going to touch a bowling ball. The only time I'll ever touch a ball is when I give a lesson to one guy on Tuesdays.
When Ocho comes to visit.
Yeah. But no, I'm putting away the bowling balls for a little while, and just overall, some people, you have a good day, you have a bad day. For me, it's just been a fucking shit run this week.
Is that a bad thing for you, or is it a way to recharge yourself a little bit? I mean, it doesn't have to be bad. It could be just you putting down some some biscuits for a while. It's like turning away cookies for a month.
You know what happens to me is, even though like Vegas is home, I miss my family a lot, to tell you the truth, and I get depressed often when like I'm not around. My mom, my dad, my sister, her husband, and like. Which
reminds you of bowling too, I guess, right? Because that's kind of how the whole.
Yeah, kind of. So, but when I know I'm going through a stint where I'm not going to be able to get home for a while, I miss my mom and dad's 50th anniversary party. That really, really fucking bothered me. It's still bothering me. And I couldn't get there, and I have to continue working, and I can't miss work to fly home when I feel like it, at least not at this point in my life. But when I go through little spurts like that, and then basically all it means is just a little bit more weightlifting and a little bit more like just go be by myself, and rather than trying to make it happen with other people. So that's overall. I mean, everybody goes through. Nobody wants to hear my shit, but I get a little homesick.
It's unfettered, man.
No, of course we do. No, this show is a therapy session for everybody. I mean, including ourselves. Sometimes we've gone through a lot of shows where we just talked about life issues and stuff. So.
It makes perfect sense too. I mean, especially like given events like that, and it's of no fault. This is reality. This is the reality of somebody putting their own life together. So, and here you are taking advantage of it by getting more reps in, hitting more Who knows if you're doing cardio? I know you're doing Pedialyte right now. So, but like at least you're channeling it. Some people sit in a dark room for 2 months and then wonder where the last 2 months went. You obviously what day it is, what time it is. So
sure.
What's crazy about it, Oach, and like I've always talked about this in the past. My love-hate relationship with bowling, but the truth of the matter is like I've said a million times, and I'll say it a million times again. My entire life is because of bowling. Every relationship I have that means anything to me has come from bowling or being in a bowling alley. So this is probably my good for the week. So like oftentimes what will happen is I revisit not even just the bowling, but being around the people in the bowling centers. I got to meet people from all walks of life from just being in a bowling center. And out here, that doesn't exist. The sense of family, friendship, commitment and loyalty to going out and like doing things together, like with friends and family, does not exist out here. There are too many underlying factors of Vegas, which like people, I'll give you a prime example. My friends in St. Louis, Shay, Tim, they're a family. There's 30 of them. They do everything together. My friends in the Poconos, Stephanie, Eric, there's 30 of them. They do everything together. When I go home to New Jersey, 30 people do everything together. Out here, everybody does what they want to, when they want to, how they want to. Sure. There is no family, no friendship, no, oh, let's get together for Sunday brunch, or let's go watch a game together, or let's go bowl a local tournament. And because of that, I can't even walk into a bowling alley and practice like I used to, where I would go practice in a bowling alley in New Jersey. I didn't even have to bring a phone with me because I knew I would see at least 10 to 12 people throughout the 3 or 4 hours I was there. And at some point, we would all wind up doing something together. That's always the way it worked. And out here, if I'm not working and I'm not bowling in league and I'm not going to the gym, the rest of my time out here is avoiding slot machines and alcohol. And that's it's wonderful. Vegas is a wonderful place to visit and come and act like a fool for a week or two at a time. But after that, you better find some shit you're interested in.
For a lifetime, it doesn't really hold water because then you wind up being what they want to then get rid of. It's fine. And again, you and I talked about that a long time on the deck last summer when you came up, man. It was like. It's a wild thing because as much as I venture out, which is rare, but I've been to a few different states and I appreciate hospitality, but like the sense of like home base is kind of like is it our own fault for creating it? Maybe, but that's what we know, and that's where our comfort is too. And there's no social awkwardness. It just ain't the same. Exactly. You can the atmosphere, and you can read it too. That's the damnedest thing is you can flat out read it the second you're around it, almost like an innate response. And it was a fun conversation we had about that, and it was a long conversation. It was just it made so much sense. But like, and I'm sure everybody has that. But how they relate it and what their home base is their own story, and it's your story, but it's so true for so many others. That's totally the wild thing. Like it holds true so often.
I have to say hi to Justine real quick. This chat is full of bleachers today, so I hope you're doing well, young lady. I haven't seen you in God almost a decade, and love and miss you. But back to what you were saying, Och. What's the other part of this good for me is honestly, my job, we have a Las Vegas office, we have a Boston office, and we have a New Jersey office. And I've considered asking if I could work from the New Jersey office for a few months. Like, go there already with my job, spend some time with my parents who are getting older. My sister's addition on her house, she's getting an addition put on her house that starts June 5th. Maybe they could use some help with that. Like, I've strongly considered coming back to Jersey for 3 or 4 months and working from there and splitting the time between, my mom and dad's and my sister's. And I could bowl 5 nights a week if I wanted to with people I want to bowl with 5 nights a week. So it's definitely becoming more and more of a thought in my head.
But now you're splitting time also with your other life, you know what I mean? Which is your life of your relationship. And that's where look, it can work. No one said it can't.
Well, I'm sure this happens to a lot of people that are my age. I mean, I'm 38 years old and not married, and I don't have any children. So my entire life is kind of like in that spot right now where
it's right in front of you. It's still right in front of you.
And now, okay, so now where am I going to go? The things I do love about being out here is everybody visits here. But the problem is, it's like, I'll give you a prime example because you guys are from back home too. I love New York City, but I never, ever, ever want to go there. Like when I lived in New Jersey, I never ever want to go to New York City.
I'm 20 miles from it, and I don't go there.
Right. And when you live in Vegas, you never ever want to go to the Strip. Anybody that lives in Vegas will tell you they never go to the Strip, and if they do, it is a fucking rare thing. So when all my friends come in, they're here from Tuesday to Friday, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna get fucked up at Mandalay Bay, or we're gonna do this at MGM." I'm like, "Hi guys, I work, and I would rather go to South Point and get my drinks for free than pay $17 for a Bud Light at MGM." So it's a lot of pros and cons. I mean, obviously, I would miss the weather out here, and the no humidity and sun's always shining. You could golf.
There's no bugs. Season. There's no freaking bugs. You leave doors open. They leave doors open. There's no screens on the windows. That threw me off, man.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything like that out here. You don't have to worry about rain. You don't have to worry about snow. You don't have to worry about scorpions. Yeah, just those. That's about it. And black widows. But other than that. But yeah, I'm officially at that part, which can kind of be a mixture of good, bad, and ugly. And I haven't quite decided exactly where I'm going to land yet.
Well, Rob already checked out. He's been looking at his phone for the last hour and a half. So
work stuff. Sorry.
See?
It never ends.
No, good host.
No,
Ocho just decided to leave.
My boss literally doesn't care that I'm doing podcasts right now. He wants me to fucking do work. So it is what it is. Ocho, you got anything good that happened this past week?
I have nothing to share now. Not after that freaking rendition, man. Fuck.
It's pretty hard to follow.
I was gonna be like, I uncovered the pool. Cool. See you later.
Well, good for you. I mean, that's a good thing.
I would give anything to have that kind of a thought process as opposed to mine. Yeah,
well, I mean,
today it was a great day.
It's part of my bad too, because I had 6 people here supposedly to help me, and everybody fucking watched me do it.
I'm sorry.
And I'm like, well, this is fun. Yeah, hey, need a hand? Yeah, I do. Oh, no one's getting up? Cool, I got it. This ain't heavy. Oh, you're strong. Yeah. No, I'm not. I haven't worked out in a fucking year and a half. I still look it, Taryn, but no, I haven't.
Oh, fantastic.
Anyways, no, that was, now I got to work on it, though. So I got to get the pool clean and that kind of stuff, and do my Ochi floating around and watching the telly and...
Jeff, tell Jaden congratulations, and that ball is a beast, that 2.0 Black Widow hybrid. For any bowling fans that are looking to drill a good bowling ball, that Black Widow 2.0 is a good one. Sorry to just shit all over your story there.
No, I didn't have a story. That's my point. We don't need a freaking roadcaster or a host.
My good.
I don't know.
Oh, you're going.
John Sparrow said you were looking at the Chick-fil-A menu. Is that what you were doing?
Popeyes, Sparrow. Popeyes.
Either one.
That's great.
He's probably got screenshots of all of them.
I do, actually.
On his favorites.
No, I do, actually.
That's terrible.
My birthday weekend this past weekend was fantastic.
Yes. I did say it to you on your birthday, but happy belated birthday here.
That reminded me to say
production.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you for that so much, sir. Went to the Beach Boys with the Nashville Symphony on Friday night, which is fantastic.
Very nice.
Got to see the last 2 surviving members. Well, Brian Wilson survived, but he's not in the band anymore. But Bruce Johnson and Mike Love are still touring in the band. And my dad brought me up on that music, so it was really cool to see.
Did they sing Kokomo?
They did. Yeah, it's my daughter's favorite song, actually. She was singing it, too. So.
Johnny's also.
Yes.
It's a great song.
Yes, it's a fantastic song.
Great song.
Saturday went to Chattanooga and went to...
It was also Don Johnson's favorite song.
Is it? Well, right. That's true. And John Stamos. Saturday went to Chattanooga. He was in the video. Of course he loves the song. Anyway, watched the Celtics win a nail-biter Saturday night. Too bad they sucked on Monday night. But, I mean, that was a cool birthday gift to see that last-second shot with 0.2 seconds left.
Larry Bird coming through in the clutch again.
Sunday, we went to a children's science museum in Chattanooga, which was really cool. My daughter had a fantastic time.
You probably learned a lot.
I did, actually. I did. I learned how much walking 3 miles sucks. But, yeah.
I also,
if it was walking from Panda Express, would it suck as bad?
Such a dick.
I wanted to tell you, obviously you guys have heard that that Vegas is acquiring the Oakland Athletics, right?
Is that going through officially?
Yeah, is that a real thing?
Yeah, they've already got schematics of where the stadium's going to go. It's center field is going to be looking right at the MGM Grand.
Are they they're not using the same one as the Raiders, huh?
No.
that's what they used
Now
to
you
do.
got the Fortress, Allegiant Stadium, and the new Oakland A's Stadium all right there in that circle. So as if traffic wasn't bad enough on the Strip, it's going to get way worse now. Well, actually, that brings me to the point I brought this up. So today the A's were playing the Braves. So I decided, you know what? If we're going to get this team here, let's see how they're doing. Because I really haven't been following a lot of baseball.
They're the worst team in the league. They're literally the worst team.
They won the last 2 games. They won the first 2 games of this series to get their record to 12-45. 12-40. Dude,
huge
the attendance, you know when they say today's attendance and they'll put like 26,000?
It wasn't in the hundreds or something like that?
It was below 3,000. It was below 3,000. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, look at this fucking. I've never seen a baseball stadium so empty. And what's crazy about it is they're 12-45, and 5 of those victories are walk-offs in the bottom of the 9th.
So they're
Almost 50% of their season wins are from walk-offs.
Good to be a fan.
Yeah. Again, another green team that I look forward to being in my hometown that fucking sucks is that the Jets aren't bad enough while I'm home. Now I got to deal with the fucking A's in Vegas. Thank God the Golden Knights are good. The only real Vegas team, and they're good. Like
and they've been good since their inception, man.
They've been good since year
team made
one.
it to the Stanley Cup Finals, and now they're in the finals again.
Vegas A's, eh? Yeah, fuck. But yeah, anyway. As for bowling,
now,
was Rob talking?
I don't know. He's looking at his phone. He's looking at Chuck E. Cheese menus now.
If you guys, real quick, to just shit on USBC a little bit more here.
Cool.
Jeff Riggles, we love Jeff Riggles because he tells it how it is, and
We like Rob Riggle too.
yes,
He's hilarious, actually.
He wrote, "Here is a very, very good read to begin the process of making the sport that so many of us love a respectable organization, not led by a tyrant who thinks bullying will keep him in power." If you guys go to 11thframe.com, spell like a not spelled out, like number 11 with a TH, 11thframe.com, he wrote a free article, Some Ways to Remove Chad Murphy and Change the Course of the USBC. It's an excellent, excellent read. There's a lot of good stuff in there if anybody's interested. Again, that's 11thframe.com, Some Ways to Remove Chad Murphy and Change the Course of the USBC. I think we should formulate like a real-life Hunger Games and throw Chad in.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's a really good idea. I think a lot of people would go for that too. And
I mean, we don't. How many people would we have? I mean, so far he's the main guy, and then if we just pony up everyone against him and be like, by the way, if you get him out, everyone else wins.
Sperone, I'm going to donkey punch you when I see you. Trust me.
No, you won't.
You're right. I will.
That would not age well.
Was donkeys on the menu?
Ocho, what are you doing? Why do we keep seeing your fan every 10 to 15 minutes?
I got shit to do too, pal. I got ideas, man. I'm writing them down.
Okay, that's fair. Ocho is very skittish about people watching him notate. So it's a personal thing. Fucking Sperone, I swear to God. Anyway, anything bad? No, you fucking covered it. I don't want to get more depressed already. So we already covered your shit, Johnny.
I'm not depressed. I was talking real there. So
I know. I'm just busting your balls.
For me, that was kind of a mixture of good, bad, and ugly, all kind of in one.
Okay.
So
like, this was how the old show was that you loved, Rob, and you were like, "Come on, peel back the curtain. Let's go."
Come on.
Open.
No, it's true. No, it's
show, and now you're like, "Oh, you already talked."
It's true. No, I'm just getting blasted by my boss right now. I'm not. What
does that have to do with him?
That's my bad right now. Is my fucking.
Well, do you have to go? It's almost 6.
We don't need you.
I got another show after this, and I told him that, and he doesn't give a fuck. So, dictate, fucking skiers. Everybody, just jump on Rob night. Christ,
dude, send him a picture of my ass. There's a website.
Everyone's seen it. No, I know.
He hasn't seen it yet.
OchoDass.com.
Get it from Taryn. She has it.
What doesn't Taryn have?
It's so fun talking to a black screen.
Is that racist?
It's going to be herpes soon.
There's a black screen behind you. If you want to move, I can talk to that, Johnny.
I got a black screen behind me too.
That's what I just said.
Oh. I just like seeing Ocho. I just don't know why he's not.
I like seeing him too.
Leave it. It's fine.
He's busy dictating, obviously.
At least set up the fake Ocho. Remember that show where he set up fake Ocho and started talking to us from the other room? Fucking scared the shit out of me. I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, I fucking love that. That was the greatest thing ever, dude.
You're like, who is that?
Yeah,
And I
who
can
was
hear
that?
you freaking yahoos on the other side. I'm like, oh my God, they can hear me.
Rob, I think it may be time for our imbecile.
Okay. All right.
Is it? Or-
Well, I mean,
We're actually way ahead of schedule, so this is good. I think we
we're,
should do it.
we're not done with the segment yet. I thought. But,
Oh, shit, my bad. Keep going.
Depressed? What are you talking about?
you already did your
said-
bad.
You said you're too depressed. You're on the phone with your boss. The Popeyes menu is already pissed off at you. You drooled all over it. Your phone has to be put in rice now because of all the drool you freaking poured on it.
Yeah.
all right.
Karen's upset that I gave her herpes, and like now we got this whole freaking kerfuffle going on.
It's definitely
That doesn't make sense.
It's definitely a kerfuffle. Ocho, you got anything bad?
I gave a chick herpes. Like, yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's true.
Oh, and they watched me uncover the pool by myself. The fucking lazy fucks.
Wouldn't that be your ugly though?
It's all the same shit. Much like Earl Anthony's fucking bowling swing.
God.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment.
If you guys don't know how to use a seatbelt, just ring your call button and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Here's the imbecile of the week.
Some people are really stupid.
All right. This week's imbecile of the week comes from a different group. It's actually not the USBC group. Let me make sure I get the right pictures here because I don't think I uploaded them in the right order. No, it's not Kimberly Presser. Hang on, sorry.
Great picture.
You like that, right? I had to
Good
throw
for
it
her.
back in there. The Bowling Science Forum. All right, so let me get this.
Now they're making it a freaking class in school or something?
Yes, it is. It's bowling science. Which,
Jesus, I built a car for the science fair one year.
Johnny would get an A+. He'd be all honors if there was a bowling science class.
What if there was a Popeyes menu class? What would you get, Rob?
Dick.
Let's think
You're
about that.
Such a dick.
Straight A's, buddy. And there's JP. He can see this. He can see He can see it this week. That's pretty funny.
That's fucking hilarious.
This is great. The host of the show, and you'll see his right eyeball any second. His middle finger.
I hate covering his
Rob,
face.
show.
It's anyway. Here, Johnny, is that better?
No, I love it. Oh, hi.
Hi.
You want me to read this or you want to read this?
I don't give a fuck. I'll read it. It's fine.
No, you read the last one. I'll
All
read
right,
this
okay,
one.
you read it. Now you can see it. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll start with Jen, and then you can feed into the imbecile because Jen Bishop is not the imbecile.
No, she is not. Let's make that
This
clear.
is not.
Right.
This
correct.
is actually a really, really nice thing that she wrote. So, Jen Bishop writes, interchangeable thumb update. So, I got a lot of great thumb feedback a month or so ago, and I went to my coach and said I wanted them. One pro shop by my house does turbo, and my coach's does vice. Once again, he talked me out of them. A week goes by, and I realize a Jopo rep had reached out to me and offered to send me a sample to check him out. I said, okay. Took it to my coach to show him. He was interested. He ordered a starter kit for the shop and just installed mine for me this past Friday. It is amazing. You literally can't even tell it's interchangeable. It fits so tight and flush, it's like a regular thumb hole. As per usual for my princess thumb, it needs a tiny little tweak on it to get it perfect. But once it's there, we'll be having my other balls drilled for IT. Coach likes them so much better than Vice, and now East Tennessee finally has an option for Jopo. So thank you, Facebook Universe, for getting me here. Clearly, a bowler who has never used these interchangeable thumbs. Very, very happy with the product. Interchangeable thumbs change the lives of tons and tons and tons of fucking bowlers, man. They are one of the greatest inventions of our time. Fine. This one's a little bit late to the party since ITs have been out for over a decade, but Jopo hasn't been. Jopo's only been out for maybe a year. So, very similar install to, say, a turbo. Unlike the Vice, which will screw into the bottom, these actually have their own sleeve, and they come in a variety of colors. Jopo's a beautiful, beautiful, awesome product. So check them out. But anyway, this chick is happy with her new interchangeable thumbs, which is great. Go ahead, Rob.
That leads us to our actual imbecile of the week.
Now remember, this is what somebody thought to write after
David
a great dissertation.
Johnson. Yes, no, absolutely right. Ben David Johnson had to respond. I still don't see the point to them. If the them is drilled right, I'll read it the way he wrote it because he's an idiot. If the them is drilled right, and your release is the same, exclamation point, not comma or ... You should not need to change your thumb. So obviously he doesn't English very well either. So Jeff Shadbolt responded, a lot of people's thumbs fluctuate in size. Interchangeables are much easier in these situations. I also don't think people are going to always tape the same ball, from ball to ball and get the slug cut, from ball to ball. I'm talking about extreme small differences, but to each their own. To which Ben said, I know the purpose. I have tape. So Jeff responded back. He says, facepalm emoji. Did you read the entire post? I said they aren't taping them exactly the same. Plus, you only do it one. Moving next picture. Oh fuck! I didn't.
Oh, it was there. It was on the group chat.
Was it in the group chat?
Shoot, I'm not looking it up.
Either way, Ben responded to Jeff. That's why I said it. My thumb is drilled to fit. I'd rather be able to use slide or small amount of tape. Costs less, won't break, and you don't need to carry extra. But Jeff said, apparently you must be the best bowler on here. You seem to know it all.
That's where it starts going good.
Yes. So Jeff also said, I tried to tell you that most people's thumbs actually fluctuate in size. Ben said, mine did. Then I got the hole drilled properly. He's like, mine did, damn it. Then I got the hole drilled properly. Now there's no need. There's no read for it to change size.
So
finally,
being drilled is why his thumb won't change size anymore, even though this is okay.
And he just said that his thumb fluctuated, so he went and he had the thumb halter
re-drilled. Yes.
So what he's saying is, when I'm in a bowling tournament somewhere and my thumb does fluctuate, even though it doesn't, I'm just going to tell everybody to hold on, and I'm going to go get my thumb re-drilled in the pro shop.
Re-drill it.
And God forbid the pro shop is closed. I have my own drill kit in my car, so I'll go drill it out my fucking
We have till the fourth frame, don't we?
Yes, absolutely right. Melvin Harrell chimed in and said, so that's 2 out of 20,000 plus bowlers that don't have minor thumb fluctuations while they bowl. The math puts you as the extreme minority. Ben said, I feel lucky. So I finally had to chime in and say, heat and cold and weight loss or gain make your thumb fluctuate. It has nothing to do with how the ball is drilled. This has to be the dumbest answer I've ever heard.
That's a great comment from Rob Francois.
Yeah.
Francois?
I like that guy.
Guy, I mean, first off, this is so idiotic that we're even discussing it.
Well, that's the point.
If I go to the bowling alley and I have my regular thumb hole drilled into my bowling ball, and if I bowl 6 games a week, I bowl Tuesday and Thursday. If I go on Tuesday and for breakfast I eat pancakes and for lunch I eat steak and rice, and then I drink protein shake and a handful of peanut butter M&Ms, and when I get to the bowling alley I drink nothing but water, my thumb is going to be a different size than if I were to eat a bag of salted pretzels followed by 25 tequila shots.
You beat me to it. I was going to say,
if I go bowling in New Jersey or Florida where the humidity is way higher than Vegas, my thumb's going to be twice the size it is now, and it's going to be tender from all the calluses. If my thumb is resting, if I'm tying my shoe and a bowling ball rolls off the fucking table and lands on my thumb's going to swell up. The idiocy that's being portrayed by this guy is second to none. I mean, basically he's sitting there, he's saying there's no need for them, but my thumb does fluctuate, so I drill my thumb hole to fit it. So, okay, Ben, so your thumb fluctuated only one time in your life, and it's never fluctuated another ounce since then.
You got it drilled. Now they fixed it.
Yeah. So, in other words, all you really have to do is go in there and say, okay, well, if I think it's going to fluctuate this much ever again, why don't I make a second thumb hole? Because I can't re-drill the same way it's already been re-drilled. He's such a fucking moron, dude. Fucking people are stupid. Fucking stupid.
Now we're just fed up. I like it. Because even the problem is, you think rationally, and when somebody thinks rationally and explains it rationally to somebody who doesn't get it, it's very frustrating. Right. It's like explaining that 2 + 2 is 4, and they're like, "But I don't get it." And then
not to mention,
come on, man.
Not to mention, this kid Jen is happy. She's making a happy post because she's excited about something.
Yep. Yeah, exactly right.
If I wanted to say, I could have very easily, if Jen wrote that comment. If I could have gone on there and said, "Hi, Jen, you're a little late to the party. Interchangeable thumbs have been out since 2011." That would be so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It might be truth. It might be truthful, but no, what I would write is, glad you're happy with your new interchangeable thumb, Jen. That's great. What harm are you doing by allowing the person who made the happy post to just fucking say something nice back?
Yeah.
So when people get on there,
got a trick that he does drill the bowling ball the right way. Maybe there's something that he knows that we don't. Is that possible? Or no, he's just a dummy. I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt for a second.
So Ocho, you're a doctor. It's physically impossible.
this guy doesn't deserve a bone. He doesn't deserve to be thrown a bone. It's a stupid conversation starter, and it completely took away from what the girl was trying to talk about. We care more about him and the other guys that are cool and smart enough to say something to him in the chat. But the girl's post is fucking ruined by this idiot's nonsense.
For no reason. Literally doesn't affect his life at all.
Man, if you had your thumb hole drilled correctly, you wouldn't need those things. They're a waste of money. Go fuck yourself, Ben David Johnson.
Yeah,
go fuck yourself,
that's right. Go fuck yourself.
Steroids in the freaking '88 Olympics against Carl Lewis, you asshole.
Exactly. And your thumb definitely fluctuated.
Yeah, damn right it did. Kind of how I met your dad when I said
kudos to Rad Rob. Kudos to Rad Rob for finding this one.
I finally got one right. I've been pretty weak lately.
This is a good one. This is very
1 for 8,
nice.
baby.
1 for 8. That's true. No, that's fair. I can take
if
that.
I see somewhere on the news that Ben David Johnson is officially the first human on Earth whose body doesn't fluctuate at all, then I'll retract everything we've said.
Yeah, he's going to be on Good Morning America in like a week.
Yeah.
Well, can we break that down just scientifically speaking real quick, Ocho?
No, you can't. That's just it. You can't.
There's no anomalies in this situation.
No, because there's always factors of anything. Salt intake. There's, again, humidity, cold, warmth. The bowling balls being in a different environment, being in your car, being in the freaking locker.
What if he bowls in a self-containment unit?
He really has to bowl in a hyperbaric chamber. Or at Colorado, in like where the humidity, don't they leave the baseballs in like this humidor, like for cigars?
Yeah.
So that's what he needs to bowl in.
What's up, Kev?
Where everything's the same, and he can't eat or drink anything at the time.
That's fair.
Oh,
that's true.
Sorry to cut you off, but we have another new visitor. Oh, good. We have another new visitor and a good friend of mine, Rob Fusek. Put his comment up here. Let's see.
Absolutely. Let's see what we got here.
What up, JP? Miss you, man. I miss you too, Rob. I hope all is well. Your family's fucking beautiful, dude, and kudos to you. Hope to see you soon. Been working hard at the Bone Training Facility for the regional season and then next year tour season. Yeah, Rob, I'm definitely pulling for you, man. It's been a pleasure watching you the few times that I did this year out at some major events. I saw you at Cavalier, and that was great. It's nice. It's nice to see that you're working at the Bone facility. When I come home, whether it's for a few months or not, sometimes I part-time work over there with the Russos. So we'll certainly at least catch up when I come back home, and I'll come bowl with you a little bit. So great to see you, and thanks for stopping by the show. So that's good shit.
That is good shit. Anything else, Johnny, before we wrap it up here? Anything else coming up that's exciting and new or eventful in your life? Or
Rochelle's birthday is in 5 days.
Well, there you go. That's awesome.
So, happy 30th to Rochelle. She'll get my present.
I know. So that's exciting. That's what I'm looking forward to. Is it's her birthday, so we'll make a nice day out of that. And fortunately, I work from home, so even though I'm working, I'll be able to be home and spend the day with her. So that's other than that.
Badass.
I'm super pumped. I'm going on a little golf trip up to Mesquite with a bunch of buddies of mine. The kid Shay that I mentioned earlier from my nationals team. We're going to spend 3 days in Mesquite, play some different golf courses. You know, this just like a guys trip. So I haven't had a guys trip a long fucking time.
Three-quarter swing every time, though. Exactly. We're not here to hit the ball that far. Three-quarter swing. We know what happened last time you played golf. So.
What kind of puppy did you get? I love dogs. I'm curious what kind of puppy you got.
She got an Ocho Rama.
Rob, are you shaking your head because Rob's curious if there's chicken crumbs in your beard?
Fucking Sparrow, I swear to God.
You started it by telling us you're ugly one day about the not having the sauce or whatever it was. You brought this upon yourself.
That's fair. This
would be like me, like I'm always bitching about myself and my choices in life. I mean, I bring it upon myself.
Chihuahua puppy.
They're nasty little fucks, man. They bite your ankles and whatnot, but they're fun.
You see, that's a Ben David Johnson comment. That would be like if Taryn posted, "I got a new puppy." You're like, "Oh, those little things are fucking bastards."
Dude, I'm in her closet. The thing bit me like 45 fucking times already. How do you think she got the damn
You can't be You can't be happy. You can't be happy for Taryn, right? You gotta fucking ruin her Coke.
Oh, it looked like you were holding like a Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
I wish I had one of those.
Split up the word.
I prefer Dos Equis. O'Neal's team shot 35-78.
Is that a lot?
Well, 1,200 by 3 is 3,600, and 1,200 by 5 guys for one game is 240 a man.
Don't say 5 guys. Now Rob's gonna want burgers.
What up, JJ? Fuck.
Holy shit.
No, actually, that's what I thought. I was like, man, I
What's
haven't
up,
had 5
JJ?
guys burgers in a while.
Wow, massive.
That was on my own, and I deflected. So, let me.
Dude, I'll give you an idea of how much this is.
How many games was it?
This is 3 games in team, 5 guys.
Oh, okay. So
3,000 is even.
So that's
they went
200.
plus 578. That's almost 240 a guy.
Oh, that's pretty damn good.
They were trying to figure out if these guys could make it to 3,400. They made it to 3578. Dave Crandall, if you have their final sets, I would love to know what they are. If you can throw them in or let us know what the 5
Crandall! I was just gonna do it.
Why do you keep saying that? What's with that voice?
It's Tom and Jerry. Everybody knows that.
Oh, I thought you were making like I was saying David's name weird.
No. It was Crambone. It was an old Tom and Jerry bit where Jerry's nephew, Jerry's uncle came in and he's playing this little guitar. He's like, "No, what the horn he did ride Crambone."
It just makes me want to do this for no reason.
That's pretty much what that's the dance,
that's all you gotta do.
Is it? Oh, it works then. It works then.
All right. Is that it, guys? Are we done? Are we done for the night?
Yeah, I think so.
Any more fat jokes in the chat? I'm not fat. I have a big bone. Ocho's going to pull it up. Here we go.
What does your hat say, Rob?
Oh, Froggy went
Hattie B's hot chicken.
He did ride.
Oh, it's a chicken hat.
Froggy went courting. He did ride Crambo. Froggy went.
I was just going to say Deliverance also.
We're going to pin a revolver by his side. Crambo.
Okay, I got the update.
That's that hard part again.
I guess I do it to myself. I'm actually wearing a chicken hat.
I got the update.
That's
from,
irony, isn't it?
From both David Crandall and Eric Hodorowski.
Crambo!
Leave it to me to bring the intellectual part to
Ocho and I are old enough to remember that. That's pretty sad.
I'm old enough to recite it.
It is.
Good, let's get the update.
It wasn't free, you fuckface. I swear to God, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. Metaphorically speaking.
Bowling. The finals. Ron Pollard, leadoff. Bowled 248, game 3 to shoot 612. Jeff Fair shoots 232, game 3 to shoot 778. Kenny Abner opens in the 10th frame to shoot 208, shoots 723. Charles Easton, 206 with the 300 the first game, 773.
Oh, so they sandbagged.
And Bill O'Neill shot 268 his last game to get to 692. That is, I don't see anybody beating that.
So none of them bowled that good the last game is what you're saying too. That's the other.
Bill O'Neill shot 268 the last game.
Okay, all right, one guy. All right.
Ron Pollard had a 240. Jeff Fair had they all bowled deuces, but yeah, they.
Are they bowling on a pattern? That's the other thing I don't know. Like this is
the USBC Nationals pattern, and the same thing happens.
This is the tournament. The thing that I went to a couple.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And the same thing happens every year. Is as the months go on and people have a little bit more knowledge of the pattern and they see what's going on. That by the time June rolls around, June and July, the scores are just astronomical.
People got it figured out, and
the lanes have kind of molded to the people that are there previously, and that they ride the wave the right way. And
Reisner and Sean have a big run there one year.
Oh yeah, Sean's always done very, very well at Nationals. I don't remember much about Reasoner. I was a little bit too young.
I think they bowled together one time, and I think they had the doubles lead for a while. I don't think they. I mean, it was just fun to see local yokels doing it. But
Sean was
go back
there
10 years or something too.
Sean was out there this year, the same time we were. He bowled They bowled their team event the same day that we bowled our doubles and singles.
Yeah, well, I don't expect Sean to not bowl good. That's the other thing. Like,
no,
dude,
he never ever doesn't.
Puts a dime at any point, and he's like see-through.
He is so skinny. And he's literally looked like he's 40. He's been...
Dude, he looked like he's 40 when he was 24, and he looks like he's 40.
What I'm trying to say is Sean has been 40 years old for 35 years.
For 40 years.
Like, every time I see him, every time I've ever seen Sean, he looks exactly the same.
He just used to have a goatee 20 years ago. That was the only difference. But, his features, everything, there's not a...
Even the way he throws the ball is exactly the same.
100%. 100%.
Crazy.
Well, Ocho, you look the same now.
You're damn right I do.
I mean,
you're another one that you look the same.
You haven't changed.
Moisturizer.
Every week you don't change.
It's moisturizer and Popeyes. So you're on something, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
You just hung. All right, let's get out of here, man.
All right.
Come on. Aaron,
good show.
Good show, guys. That wraps up for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. We will see you next
What's
week.
my Twitter?
Nobody cares. Nobody
I care.
Nobody tweets anymore.
Yeah, well, that's because you guys fucking don't pump it up.
Elon Musk fucked it all up. All the liberals are pissed off now. It's
Stop
sad.
making it about left and right shit. See how you fuck up everything?
Hey, life is about left and right, brother.
Life is about right and wrong.
Where do I come in then?
Doesn't matter. You'll figure it out.
Right down the middle.
Okay.
5 guys.
Thank you guys for showing up tonight.
Thank you very much, as always, for showing up tonight.
We'll see you next week. Good night, guys.
In the closet.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. You can follow the show on Twitter at Straight Up 5 Pod. Follow Johnny Jr. at JPJR07. Follow Rad Rob at Rad Rob Gaming. And follow Dr. Ocho at the Dr. Ocho. Got a question for Johnny? Send your questions to straightUp5podcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. Right here on the Rad Rob Radio Network.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.